Well, everyone, I think it's time we talked. Today we're talking about the Black Ops 4 contracts, and, well, rather are they good, or are they just a watered down version of Black Ops 3 contracts? Now, here, let me explain. So, contracts will be coming, as Treyarch has stated in a blog post yesterday, on all platforms on the 25th of June. So that's fantastic news that they're coming across the board to everyone, so no one has to wait. So that's a good highlight. There are new ways for players to earn in-game rewards through rotating daily challenges. We've heard the community's requests for more rewards through gameplay in all modes. We're expanding contracts across all 4 modes: multiplayer, blackout, zombies, and world league. Now, there's a few different specifics about these that I want to go over. So it says you can earn them in all 4 modes, and how that works is each mode will have a daily contract that can be completed, which will have a 24-hour timer. So I'm assuming the refresh time will somewhere be around 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, which is the daily tier skip refresh time. So whatever that tier skip refresh time is for you in your country or state or wherever you live, that's most likely what the daily contract time will be. Additionally, you can get 6 extra contracts that you can choose from in each of the 4 modes. So you have 1 daily contract, which is default every day, and then every day or every week or every couple of days, which they haven't specified the intervals yet of when the 6 additional contracts will be replaced or refreshed, you can get those 6 additional contracts. Again, you can choose from in what order you complete, and of course you don't have to complete a certain amount or whatever before the refresh, but that does give you an option to gain up to 28 contracts per interval of time, which again we don't have a specific on, so it could be those 6 additional contracts for each mode can be done once a week. So you might only have 28 contracts a week plus an additional 4 daily contracts per day, so somewhere around 40 some odd, 50 some odd contracts a week maybe. So that would be okay, but with the way the contracts are and their rewards, they don't look too promising. Now, daily contracts again are refreshed every 24 hours. Player must complete the daily contract in each mode before the refresh, otherwise the new contract will take its place. So if you have progress going and you don't complete it in that 24 hours, your progress is wiped and the new contract replaces it. So that's pretty cool. That's the usual, what you expect from a daily contract. Activated contracts will refresh at regular interval, which again, they're not giving us a specific time, which I think is pretty disappointing to not tell us, since it's coming out, next week, in about 4 days here. And then any of these contracts can be swapped out for another while retaining progress made until the contract pool refreshes. So what that means is, say you're playing Blackout and you activate 2 specific contracts and you get about halfway through both of the contracts, but you're like, you know what, I'm getting tired of trying to do this, let me swap out for a different one. So you can swap out one or both of those contracts for another one of the 6 contracts you have available while retaining the progress you made, and come back and finish those at a later time. So I do think that is a very good improvement from the Black Ops 3 system we had. And they don't expire until that contract pool or those 6 contracts have run out of their time, whether it's a day, 2 days, 3 days, a week, whatever the time frame is for those 6 contracts. So that is a cool way to kind of hop between challenges to make it a little less tedious and just sitting there doing the same task over and over again, especially for some of the harder challenges. And on that fact, let's get into harder challenges. So there are standard and hard contracts. So players will be able to activate 2 types of contracts aside from the daily contracts. So the daily are all going to be standard. Everyone across the board gets the same thing. And I assume that the other contracts, the active contracts, will be across the board as well, but they might vary per player. I'm not exactly sure. We don't have all that specifics at the moment. But for those active contracts, the other 6 additional contracts you can choose from at your command for each of the 4 modes, you can pick between a standard one, which provides a moderate challenge and can be completed fairly quickly, or you can complete a hard contract that will put your skills to the test with more rewards to earn for completion. So here's a hard contract in Blackout. I'll also have this on screen. A hard one they describe is called Solo Stalker, and it is place top 10 in a solo game 2 times in Blackout. So for completing this task, you get 500 merits, which is honestly pretty disappointing because I can get 500 merits for a single game of Alcatraz, which takes a lot less time than a solo game placing top 10 of standard Blackout will, and you have to do that 2 times. But the key here is you do get 2 reserves, which is pretty decent. So ideally, each game you're earning a reserve, if you look at it that way, for a hard challenge if you can get top 10, which in normal Blackout isn't significantly difficult, especially if you are camping and just camping in circle. So I think that's a pretty cool challenge. Now, contract earnings, there are rewards for completing contracts can include reserve cases, 1 or more based on the challenge required. So it assumes that, I assume that normal challenges, normal difficulty will probably get you 1, and these harder challenges will probably earn you 2, because I doubt they're going to give us 3 or more. That just doesn't seem likely that Treyarch would do that, because that's just giving away more than they really need to, or that they would want to. In multiplayer Zombies and World League, you can gain bonus experience. From what I've seen, from what they've teased, it's not a lot of experience. And then you can get bonus Nebula and Plasma in Zombies, which is a good plus. I love that. And bonus merits in Blackout. Again, not that much to make it really significant, but I guess it will help a little bit. Reserve earn rate and daily tier skips are still going to be active, but with a few little modifications. So obviously you can earn more reserves through constant gameplay with these systems that are in place now. Your daily tier skip is still going to be the same for first multiplayer win, league play, first merit in Blackout, or reach round 15 in Zombies as you're used to. So that doesn't change, which is good. I like that system personally. Then the Zombies daily skip, which was the daily challenge in Zombies, is now being replaced with the daily contract. So for example, again, I'll have this on screen. Your daily contract in Zombies, for the one that they have shown us, it's Touring Classic. It's played 20 total rounds of Classic. Can be any map, and just gotta be Classic mode, and you just gotta complete 20 rounds, so at any time. And you're gonna get, for example, 1000 XP, which is equivalent to, like, I want to say 20 headshots if I'm doing the math correctly, which is pretty much nothing. You get 1 reserve, which is cool for a daily contract, makes sense for something that's pretty easy task to do. Allowing us to get reserves in Zombies is also really great. And then you get your Zombies tier skip as well. So it does make the daily contract for Zombies more worthwhile, which is really great. So the Zombies aspect is pretty good, and I'm pretty happy about the contracts in Zombies as we haven't had it. But then again, we should have had features like this at launch. With how simple these features are to incorporate, how simple the UI is, it really should not have taken them this long to get these kind of features out. For example of some Zombies contracts, again, we have Heavy Nemesis, get 20 heavy enemy kills, get 2500 experience, again not very much, and 2 reserves, which is pretty good. But those 20 heavy enemy kills is going to take a pretty good amount of time in Zombies. If you know, the heavy enemies are Blightfathers and Brutuses, and I believe the werewolves might still count from Dead of the Night. So those don't spawn too often, so that will take a little while to complete. Another one they have on here is Ticket to Ride and use fast travel 20 times. So you have 30 Nebula and Plasma and 1000 experience. For example, that would be a really, really easy challenge to do if you do the free fast travel on Voyage of Despair. But Other than that, it's not that significant of a reward. 30 Nebula Plasma is not that great for how much time it would take to do that, but I guess it is kind of fun to have these extra challenges. Now, of course, again, you have 28 contracts you can have. Your 6 individual contracts you can swap between each mode, and then you have 1 daily for each mode, which I think is pretty great. And it seems that most contracts, or at least probably about half of them, will be earning you reserves. So if you count and you play all 4 modes, which I know most of the viewers probably won't be playing, you can assume that you will probably earn somewhere around 14 reserves per refresh time. Probably 4 per day from the daily, and then an additional like 10 to 12 from the contracts that you complete, however often that happens, which I think will be really awesome. But we're not done yet. They got a little bit more for us, and that's what is called the Ultra Weapon Bribe. And it is the first reward, the black market. It gives you a weapon that you do not own, guaranteed, non-duplicate, protected, which I just think should be on every freaking reserve, but that's just my opinion. And this gives you one weapon you haven't had. If you got all the brand new DLC weapons, then it's going to give you either a Mark II or a Mastercraft or another variant that you haven't unlocked. But that's only once you have all the new weapons. So for people that haven't played the previous operations, you might get a Cat 45, for example. But it will be a brand new weapon, nonetheless, to each player. There's going to be a special event later. They say an Operation Spectre Rising, which will be ending July 9th. So coming up soon, they're going to have to implement this special event, which will allow you to earn an Ultra Weapon Bribe, guaranteeing you that weapon, which I think is fantastic. But again, should have probably already been in the game. And that's what the weapon bribe should have been for this half of the operation. Should have been a ultra weapon bribe, not a weapon bribe. And they say that there is going to be more ways to earn these ultra weapon bribes in the future. So stay tuned. And that's what they give us. Now that's basically contracts. I don't know what else to say. I mean, I think contracts is going to be a great addition personally, as I do enjoy a lot of the game modes in this game for casual play, like Alcatraz and zombies and all of that. And I think it'll be a nice addition to bring me back to playing the game more and more every day, every week. But I do think that the amount of reserves and XP and rewards you're going to get from these is kind of a little lackluster, especially when you compare it to games like Black Ops 3. Had basically the same system, duplicate weapons you can get, duplicate items, had tons of items again in supply drops, but in their supply drops you got 3 items instead of 1. Whereas in Black Ops 4, they give you 1/3 the reward for the same freaking amount of work, Treyarch! We don't have the time, as Prestigious Key says in his lovely update videos for us. And I stand firmly with his opinion on that, as no one has the time to grind this out. So I appreciate you guys over at Treyarch trying to make it a little better, because I know Activision's up your asses to get that extra moolah. But please, Treyarch, remove duplicates for us. That would be such a fantastic way to fix your system. So fantastic. But that's all I got for you guys today. I'm sorry for the long video here, but I wanted to go over in depth all of these specifics and how they work and my opinions on them. Let me know what you guys think of the contracts. Will you guys be playing the game more now that you'll have contracts? Do you guys just not care? Do you think they're not worth the time? Again, let me know what you thought. If you could drop a like down in the description, it'd be super cool for me. Put a lot of time into researching this to get the accurate information. And we'll see you guys soon. Peace.